Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Mediumcore. Surprisingly enough, I'm actually going to stick to the plan I made for today's episode. Also, like I promised, I did actually mine off camera to get some resources for the nether tunnels like I said I would. I'm not going to make you sit through all that, but I got 3 shulker boxes, I've got warp stem, soul soil, and blackstone, and you'll see why it's these specific 3. But it actually took not as long as I expected. The soul soil took about 20 minutes. The blackstone took maybe an hour, and then the warp stem took the longest at around an hour and a half. So it honestly didn't take nearly as long as I expected to get 3 full shulker boxes of stuff. The only thing in the design that I didn't get anything of that I will need in higher quantities is soul lanterns, but I'll make those over time as I go, probably as an extra step or a last step, because I don't really want to deal with those until I absolutely have to, because making soul torches is not fun. And also, I'm not sure if you've noticed this, but yeah, there's no audio for some reason. I'm having some troubles with that right now, so sorry about that, and hopefully it'll be fixed either by the next clip or the clip after. But yeah, that's all the materials for the beginning of the nether tunnels. Alright, so we're here in my building testing world, and this is actually the design I'm planning on doing for the nether tunnels. Well, actually no, that's not entirely true. The floor is not actually going to be polished basalt, it's going to be soul soil, because soul speed exists, and soul speed is very good, and I designed this long before I understood how good soul speed actually was. So yeah, this is what all the soul soil is for, is the floor, because I want it to make me fast. So it doesn't look as good, but it still fits. But yeah, this is the design, just a simple segmented build. This is where the soul lanterns are, and then yeah, blackstone background, blackstone roof, warped stems, and then the warped wood, and then this is how a portal will fit in, kind of like this. So yeah, that's how I want this to look, and I'm just gonna have multiple of these going off in different directions, and I can figure out how to make the turn-offs a lot nicer looking. But yeah, this is what I intend to do for my nether tunnels. Alright, a fair amount of progress has been made here. I don't want to turn around just yet. I wanted to just kind of show my building process here. Just gather up the materials, slap down a crafting table, and just go at it. That's my building process. But I did leave this gap open here so I can actually come out into the nether too. And then yeah, I've been just slapping the blocks together as much as I can, trying not to get blown up by ghasts, which has already happened twice. Fortunately, I did not fall into the lava, which would not surprise me, because it's literally, this is one block of soul soil and then it's just lava, because I am on a very thin platform above the lava. So yeah, so this is the progress I've made so far. I've not put in any of the soul lanterns yet because I still haven't gathered them. I'll gather them at some point, but I made it up to this turn here, and then I've started working this way, and I have to figure out how to do these stairs. I think I'm going to use dark oak stairs, but I got to figure out how to get the transition just right. So I'll try and figure that out off camera. But I've done this little section as basically just a tester to see how it would look on a bigger scale, because in my testing world I had this much. And that is it. No turns, nothing. And I think this actually turns out pretty good. And from this back distance, when you can't see that it ends, it actually looks very good. I really like how this turned out, and I think once the soul lanterns are going to be in it, it'll look really good. So I can't wait to get this all built. Honestly, I'm going to need more blackstone. Orb stems, I should be fine. Soul soil, I should be fine, but I'm absolutely going to need more blackstone. So I'll have to go out mining at some point during the recording of this. If it's a productive mining session, I might time-lapse it, but if it's like 5 hours between every blackstone vein like it was last time, then I won't. But the one good thing about blackstone mining in the actual ground instead of in a delta, in a basalt delta, is you can find ancient debris, because when I mined the shulker box of blackstone, I found 4 ancient debris. So yeah. Or wait, no, 5. I can do math. 5 ancient debris. So yeah. So all in all, this is actually kind of paid for itself. And I think it does look good. So yeah, I'm just going to work on getting this pattern expanded further and further, especially up here, since this only goes so far. Because it goes up here, turns here, up there, and then it goes really far that way, but it's all a straight shot. So yeah, I'm gonna get to work on this. Also, it looks disgusting from the outside, but we will never see it from the outside. Hopefully. Well, actually we probably will, but not on camera, so yeah. That's what it looks like so far. I've made even more progress here, though not really visible from this angle. I still haven't done anything this direction. But I made this entire staircase upwards, and then this little bit here. So it's not as much distance-wise, but it actually took me like twice as... Oh, sorry. It actually took me like twice as long to get this to look not disgusting. Which, honestly, it still doesn't look great, but fortunately not seen much. So now that I have this section and the main section in place, I can get a good look at how the entire build will look, because this is all there is flat parts and stairs. There's nothing going up at an angle, so I don't have to worry about anything finagly. So this is just how the diagonal section looks. It's not the best, but it kind of blends in with the rest of the build, so that's all that matters. So I'll do that here, continue the flat section all the way out here, and then I think it stays at this constant plane when it reaches the portal. And then that way I've got a long way to go, so I'll probably have to gather more resources before I do that. But yeah, so more progress has been made, and now that I have this done, I should be able to do like all of the rest of it with a good idea in mind once I get the resources for it. So many hours over so many days. It's finally done. I ran out of blackstone and soul soil several times. I would have time-lapsed getting the blackstone again, but it was about 3 in the morning and I didn't feel like it. But at long last it is done. Continues all the way down that way, and now it continues all the way this way. I'm just going to showcase this way because it's a lot shorter of a distance. But I've got all the lanterns in, and I've got all the tunnel in. So I can now get to all the portals much safer. Some of these stair bits were actually quite hard to get the shape right, especially the ones I had to move all the stairs up one or the portals back one to make space for this right here, because otherwise it would have been like inside the portal and that would have not been good. And I needed space for these too, the pillars. But yeah, so it's not perfect, it's not the perfect build, and I've had to do quite a bit of modifying in certain areas, but overall it looks pretty good. And I'm quite proud of how it turned out. Okay, I thought I saw a lantern that was just sitting on top of the pole instead of hanging off. not bad. But yeah, and this is all I have left in my inventory. I've still got some of the warp stems because I went out and collected a bunch more, but it honestly didn't take as many as I expected. Yeah, I ran out and had to get more, so this is what I have currently. I ran out of every material several times, especially the blackstone I ran out of the most because it's the most used. But yeah, that's essentially this project done. I can now get about and around in the nether a lot easier. So I consider that a success. And it was a project that was long overdue because I've been meaning to do that since pretty much day one, and I don't know why I haven't, I just haven't. But now I have. So that's that. As stated in previously, I'm gonna hopefully try and stick to the plan. So in tomorrow's episode, I'm going to hopefully stick with the plan of starting to make a wither skeleton farm, so I can fight the wither, obviously, so that I can get beacons, or at least one beacon, because I am sorely lacking at the current moment. And a beacon would just make things a lot easier, because I do a lot of digging, I do a lot of building, and building requires mining, and that would just be a lot easier with these two. So I'd like to get a beacon, but to get a beacon I need a farm, so that is what I'm planning on doing in the next episode, so I'll be sticking with the nether. And yeah, with that being said, that's all I'm going to do for today's episode of my Minecraft Medium Core. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.